Hi guys, welcome to JD's Kitchen and thank you guys for stopping by. Today I'll be sharing with you guys how we make grilled pork. To begin with, I'll share with you guys the spices that we use to spice our pork. So we use green spices, ginger, garlic, white pepper, onion and curry powder, and then we go ahead to add some salt and seasoning cubes into the mix, and then we pour it into our pork. This is the day before we plan to grill. We pour it into our pork and make sure it touches every single one of the pork slices. So after spicing the pork yesterday, we left it to stay out of the freezer for like an hour, and then we put it in the freezer. The next day we have removed our pork from the freezer and we are now going to steam it, and we steam the pork without adding any water. So we don't add any water to the pork. It produces its own water and its own oil, and this pork was cooked for approximately 40 minutes and it didn't get burnt, and I used a charcoal pot, and you can imagine how hot a charcoal pot is. So if you're using your gas cooker, you just want to regulate and make sure you're monitoring. It might not produce as much water, so you just want to make sure it doesn't get burnt. And how I know my pork is ready, I keep using a fork and I poke on the pork and see if it goes in easily, then I know my pork is ready. It's now time for us to grill, and when we start grilling, what we do is the mix of spices that you saw yesterday that we used to spice our pork, that's the same thing we're going to be using to rub on the skin of the pork while grilling. So as you can see, we're just taking the pork out of the pot now, and then we're going to be using this brush. And in this spice right now, you can see that we have put in some groundnut oil or some vegetable oil, and then we added in some seasoning cubes in it to give it more taste. And the amount of seasoning cube you add in your spice when you're grilling will depend on how tasty your meat already is. That's after boiling, so you taste it and be able to tell, oh, do I need to add some more of this or shouldn't I add, or however it is. It will depend on you and how you want your meat to taste. So that's the grilling process. We have yeah, that's just the process you see there. You want to control the fire and make sure that it doesn't burn your pork, and you do not want to leave the pork on the grill and go too far. You want to just continuously monitor to make sure that the fire is not burning your pork, but is slowly grilling it just like you would want. And that's it for our grilled pork recipe. You just, from here on, what you just want to make sure you monitor your fire, don't get your pork burnt. This is the result. We ate it with plantain and mayonnaise and pepper.